So essentially we're trying to create one job for every 3 residents of Springfield. We're trying to pick those technologies that are going to create the jobs of the future for our residents.
Do you know what's happening in Springfield, the new innovation district? Find out the factors for its success. Tune into this episode of Tomorrow's Tech. I'm Samantha Garbutt, joined today by Bob Sharpless, one of the driving forces behind the City of Springfield, Australia's first privately built city. Featured only 30 minutes away from Brisbane, Queensland, Springfield is home to a health precinct, a university, a data centre, and is soon to attract some of the world's largest tech giants. Welcome on the show, Bob.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at what's on offer in Springfield.
3,000 hectares under one ownership does not exist anywhere in this country.
Greater Springfield is building a brand new city on the edge of Brisbane from scratch. This project represents home for 43,000 people, and it has set a benchmark which everyone now aspires to try and achieve.
So we said we have to take it to the highest and highest form of development. And that's when the idea of creating a new city came. The government said you have to have a validating legislation and an act of parliament. After 3.5 years, it was unanimously passed by all the 89 parliamentarians. And for the first time in the history of this country, a city was given birth on that night other than the city of Canberra.
Bob, several regional centres have been pitched as the next Silicon Valley. So what will differentiate Springfield and ensure its long-term success?
Well, I think there's 3 factors that'll do that. The first of it is that we've actually dedicated a very significant amount of land for the opportunity. The ideal city precinct is about 40 hectares, but it actually, in combination with our Health City and Education City precinct, is called the Knowledge Precinct, which is about 130 hectares. Across this precinct, there's approval for 1 million square metres of commercial development. So the footprint is actually very significant that we've laid down for this opportunity. The second factor that I think will be important is that the quality of our telecommunications infrastructure is very high. We already have a dark fibre network that's reticulated through the project. We have connections back into Brisbane and from Brisbane to the rest of the world. And that's supported with our Polaris data centre, which is a Tier 3 plus data centre. So for users of the digital systems, we have the telecommunications infrastructure, which is so critical for their use. And the third factor is just the fact that we're a very young community. Our average age is 29.
Wow.
They're very early adopters of technology. And we generally believe that we've got the right ecosystem that will allow these organisations to want to be in our project.
It sounds like you've got all the right ingredients. And with Springfield building a digital city, how is that different to a smart city?
Well, I think the smart city term is not really used as well as it should be, and I think it's confusing to some people. Smart city in some places can be as simple as, and I've seen this in India, converting what is a septic sewage system into something that's a bit more modern with underground reticulation and tertiary treatment. So we tend to use the term digital city, and by digital city we're looking to adopt the digital technologies, and implement them across the project. And we know that because of the young nature of our community that they're very early adopters of this technology. We also know that these digital platforms do require a lot of power, and so we've also adopted a position across the organisation for the city, which is to achieve a zero net energy position by 2038. So by zero net energy, I mean that we're actually looking to produce as much power as we consume.
Excellent.
So the combination of the digital technologies and obviously a very minimalist footprint in terms of our power utilisation, we think gives us a digital city as distinct from a smart city.
Well, it's an ambitious goal, but it sounds like you're well on the way. And with Springfield looking to attract tech giants like Microsoft and Google, how are you making Springfield attractive for tech startups?
Well, we're the master developers of the city. So one of the advantages that we have in what is a greenfield opportunity is that we actually get to pick the technologies that we want to embed throughout the project. Not only with that, we will actually invest in those companies ourselves. So essentially, we're trying to create one job for every 3 residents of Springfield. We're trying to pick those technologies that are going to create the jobs of the future for our residents. So we will not only lay down the platform for these technologies, but we will also invest in companies that can be located in Springfield that have got the technology that we think will basically be successful and can create the jobs of the future. And I can give you an example of that. So we've already got a company called Lavo that has a wonderful technology which uses hydrogen as the main fuel source for battery storage. So they want to go into commercial production. So we've been working with Lavo to design a facility that would be based in Springfield that would enable them to do that. So picking these sorts of technologies, having them located in Springfield, and generally training the workforce that these companies will need, that's how we believe that will make an ecosystem that will be attractive to a lot of these organisations.
Absolutely. Thanks for your insights, Bob. Great to have you on the show.
It's been my pleasure.
Audience, if you enjoyed this episode and want to stay tuned for more, follow us weekly across Tomorrow's Tech LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram. And let us know in the comments below what you believe will be the markers of success for new innovation districts like Springfield. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for joining us and see you next time on Tomorrow's Tech.
Tomorrow's Tech, presented by 3 Dot Digital.